Innovation Unplugged from the Alabama Community College System's Innovation Center takes you inside Alabama's workforce development. Join us for enlightening conversations with community leaders and industry experts showcasing experiences, addressing key issues, and celebrating successes in the workforce initiatives across the state. All right, guys, welcome back to the next installment of Innovation Unplugged. I'm Houston Blackwood, Workforce Director at the Innovation Center. In studio today, Matt Heaton is our Career Readiness Manager, and I just want to say, Matt, nice shirt.
Thanks.
You like my shirt too?
I think we shop at the same store.
You know, Matt, one of the biggest fights in my home life with my wife is about matching. She wants to wear matching something, like Halloween costumes or game day. I'm like, I'm not doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So I just need you to know it's a big honor for you, not for me, that we're wearing matching shirts. That's why. Never mind.
Don't let him lie. He actually texted and said, "Will you please match me today and wear your red shirt?"
No, that's not true. Anyway, all right. So serious topics. I think we need a drum set in the studio right
If
there.
it's my drum set, you can't touch it though. So.
All right, for real. All right, Matt. So Matt serves as our Career Readiness Manager, and for all the world's sake, that's our Career Readiness Division. It's a division of two people, but kind of like in the Civil War when they move the cannons around a whole lot, you make it look like it's more than it is, but it's just as effective. And you guys have done a super good job. And we had some changes. We had to go through some pretty interesting policy changes and fiscal changes, and to figure out how to keep serving the K-12 and serving the industry and all that. But I thought it'd be a good time today just to talk about where career readiness came from, and then kind of where it's going as we move it into some other things. And part of that, where it's going, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know that you know. I don't know anybody knows, because the landscape is shifting outside of our control. But anyway, man, just a lighthearted but authentic conversation about career readiness. And before we go down that road, I just want to say, just for the world to hear, you guys did a good job with a lot of unknowns. Like when you shifted from the what was it, the region? What do we call that?
South Central North.
South
Regional,
Central Regional Coordinator.
South Central. That'd be a good walk up song with that announcement. South Central, turn to North.
I don't know that song. Can you sing it?
No, I can't. You need a walk up song to go along with the announcement. Put your hands together.
No.
Four.
On the show, or are we playing community league softball?
We could be.
Okay. Anyway, so Matt had one job, which was the central coordinator for workforce, and then that blossomed into South Central or North Central, all the things, and then career readiness came along. And what that meant was we were going to take our courses and tie them to the State Department of Education. And Matt, having a background in K-12, was a perfect fit. So we went from having nothing in that arena to having everything. So walk us through a little bit about how you have attached our courses, Skills for Success courses, to the CRI list.
Well, I think 3 years ago we piloted with 2 or 3 high schools. It wasn't attached to anything, just see if it would work, see if the State Department of Education thought it was a valuable asset for these CRIs, our courses, to be added to that list as a credentialing from industry. And it went from that to being added to maybe 6 or 7 career clusters, a handful of different programs, just heavy equipment, skid steer, I think got attached to a lot of things. Some of them you look at and does that make sense? But you're never going to ask to remove something from the list when it's there. Don't bite the hand that feeds you. But this last CR update, fast forwarding 2 years, we're attached to all of the career clusters recognized by the State Department of Education in Alabama, and 72 out of the 82 recognized programs throughout the state we have a Skills for Success course attached to as a CRI, which is now, for all freshmen and below, is a graduation requirement moving forward.
Did you say 72 out of 82 recognized programs?
72 out of the 82 programs the state of Alabama we have a course attached to.
And when you say programs from Alabama, like career programs?
Well, in your career cluster, if it's architecture and construction, you've got electrical, all that different stuff. So all the programs inside that cluster, there's 82 total, and we're attached to 72 of them. You trying to do math now?
Yeah, I can't take my boots off to do division.
Yeah.
That's 88%.
Yeah, that's okay.
What's that 12.3%? Because actually it's 87.8, so I rounded up. That's what you're supposed to do. But what's the other 12%?
Those are some courses, to be honest with you, with the conversations at the schools. Maybe they just haven't started up yet. If there's one that exists, we haven't worked with them, and maybe that's because we don't have a course attached to. Some of the Project Lead the Way, Green Industry, and some of the industrial 3D printing type stuff, we don't have anything that fits into that program right now. No fault of anybody, so we just
doesn't fit.
Right.
But 88% is pretty good, like standardized testing and stuff.
Yeah.
I always thought too, like on field trips and stuff, like if 88% was okay for testing, like if you came back with 88% of the kids, like it was like that's 12% people are gonna be mad. But
if 88% of the kids showed up to go on the field trip, at least that meant you planned a decent field trip that they're interested in going to.
Yeah. What was your most fun field trip ever in elementary school?
Elementary school. I don't know that I remember a field. I know we went on stuff, but I can't remember. We may have gone to the Birmingham Zoo, which is always cool when you're a kid to look at animals.
You ever seen the hippopotamus use the bathroom?
I have not.
You should video that sometime or YouTube it.
Favorite field trip in general, though, was with the high school group at Good Hope when we took the science department to they toured the Atlanta Braves facility.
Oh, yeah?
I can't remember the body exhibit. That was weird and neat all at the same time.
It's a little bit scary.
Yeah. And of course we got to eat at the varsity, so that's always a good time.
Always a good time. Did you get the hot dog?
I think I got the dog and the burger. I was hangry that day.
Oh, gluttonous. Okay.
I didn't have to drive home.
You weren't driving the bus?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Did y'all drive a bus to Atlanta?
It was charter.
Gosh. Okay. Well, that's good. All right. Let's get back on track. So all those career clusters. So you're in all the career clusters, and then 72 out of 82 of the recognized programs in the state. What does that do for that career awareness and those kids coming out of junior high, out of 8th grade into 9th or 10th grade, and what does that do for them to have an idea of what's going on?
Well, without some of these, which even if you're enrolling at a 2 or 4 year, a lot of the courses we have, you wouldn't really get to experience that. But to be able to get to experience those and decide if you like it or not, and like we've said on the last podcast and talk about it all the time, if you've not used any student loan debt, FAFSA, to figure out what you like or don't like, it's always a good thing.
Yep.
You don't have to like it, but there's something in the stack of courses that we could probably pitch to you. You'll eventually find something to make a career out of.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I had a great thought. I lost it. Were you surprised when we launched this thing? Were you surprised at how quickly the high schools took to and started using Skills for Success?
Yeah. I mean, because it started. I mean, the first year, I think we were in the 40s in the school systems, and we've doubled every year to.
Yeah.
So to watch that growth, which it kind of intertwines with the additions to the different career clusters and programs on the CRI list, but it also speaks to, even though some of the process is a headache that we can't control, the end result is good for all parties involved. So I think that's helped part of the growth on top of the CRI list.
Yeah. How many school systems are we serving, like percentage-wise? Do you know?
As of yesterday, 124 school systems throughout the state.
Out of how many systems are there, like 128?
There's 123. I'm kidding. There's 143.
No. Okay, so
143.
Do you know that percentage? Because I suck at math.
I was not a mathematician.
86.7%. So you're like 85% or better.
That's pretty good on the state report card, isn't it?
And bringing kids home from field trips.
Yeah.
Okay, so 124 systems out of 143. Those roughly 19 that we're not in, I'm sure there's a reason, or
Some I have learned that whatever reason, maybe career tech is not
Not their thing.
their thing.
Yeah.
And then there's a few of them that are elementary or K-8 magnet schools too.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. How many students?
Statewide?
Yeah. No. Like, not how many are there. Like, how many have we served, you think?
Oh, gosh.
Like, above 86%? You're still above 85% of the schools? Students served in the schools?
I think that percentage could be off.
Mm.
Not necessarily that all students in 9 through 12, not that they couldn't take our course, but a lot of them are funneling through those career tech paths for the CRI, which they're not going to get if they're not declared for that program. So not that somebody that's wanting to be in some type of engineering major that don't go to the career tech center, not that some of our courses wouldn't benefit them down the road, but doesn't count at that graduation requirement for them.
I think if I was a principal and I had a high school kid, I would, if they were wanting to be an engineer of any kind, they're going to go through carpentry or electrical their senior year, and maybe even like a skid steer excavator, just to have something that they had to move, they had to manipulate with their hands. I would just be so nervous to let them out without them having built something, measured and built something. And I know they've got all those engineering programs, and they're all great. My son's in one at Hartsville. Miss Pittman does a super job, but I just like build something tangible and big, with all that. So the colleges took hold of Skills for Success with the K-12s and ran it almost to a problem. Like we ran that engine above the RPM range a little bit, wee bit.
Oil was probably a little burnt.
Oil was burnt.
We never stopped to change that.
Yeah. So this is I'm not spilling any tea out there to the world that the world doesn't know, but so we ran that engine a little farther than we should have, revved a little higher, and we had to pull back, and that was a difficult season for us. I mean, it was very stressful for all of us, from top leadership down to, our workforce coordinators, all the way down to the college, their coordinators. So looking back, now that we've adjusted and done some things, and I think found a pretty good flow, I think, things typically work out. But what do you think about that transition from everybody gets everything to, hey, let's be more focused? How do you think that's traveling out in the K-12 world?
From the folks at the State Department I talked to, they're like, that makes sense. And then to the colleges, they're like, this helps us. Not necessarily that they're saying no, but there's no reason. Last year, if I was a 16-year-old ninth grader, before I even graduated ninth grade, I could have taken, if time allowed, 6-10 courses. But with the new way we're doing it, with one course per high school student per semester, it looks a lot like your dual enrollment scholarships, where they can get 3 per year. They may double up on one in one of the semesters, but summer's always available, although midsummer that CRI approval cuts off mid-June. So
yeah. So you get one dual enrollment per semester, right?
Or you could,
and you get one Skills for Success scholarship per semester,
right?
They can pay for extra dual enrollments, right? They get one scholarship, one for free.
And my son Tegan, currently he's taken 2 this semester, and he'll re-enroll for his 3rd in the spring semester. Yeah. So no matter whether it's a technical program or your just basic credit stuff, I think you get 3 total for free. But yeah, if you wanted to enroll for a whole class load, I assume you could pay out of pocket for.
Yeah. Where I'm going with that is, same thing for Skills for Success for those kids that just really love the heavy equipment series or all things construction. I mean, that's about 7 or 8 courses, which is a pretty good cost to the college and out of their budget. I'm just curious, like, really how to sell that to the moms and dads of the world and the career tech teachers and career coaches and counselors, like how we sell that to them, that, hey, you can get what you need and you get a little bit more in those 2 years. And so what would you say if we were like, hey, all right, you don't need to take all these heavy equipment courses the full theory and lab. What if they just took like a bundle of like a little bit of construct, like carpentry, electrical, a couple heavy equipment, 2 hospitality, and 2 healthcare, but they only took the theory.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's no lab, no real cost other than the time of registration. What if we offered that as like a career exploration and said, hey guys, here you go. You can take these 8 theory courses over the next year,
Mm-hmm.
say sophomore year, junior year, and then in your senior year, you take these actual labs. Like you get 2 labs out of all that you like.
Mm-hmm.
Like how would that fly, even if it wasn't in their career track or their declared program?
I like the thought of almost like if we developed our, not to step on any toes, but a version of our courses that kind of acts like what ACE does, where in their freshman year, number one, a lot of you are not old enough to take a course anyway, but if you could take a basic theory overview that could, in all honesty, check your CRI box, no matter what program you're in. I think ACE right now, I sent out a report for one of the colleges the other day. It's attached to 42, 43 different programs. So we're attached to a little more. So if we could develop something that attached to everything as a entry-level freshman. In 8th grade, they filled out their career interest inventory. And then if they could take some type of theory bundle that gives them an entry-level view as to what they could do as a hands-on course later on, and if it counted as that CRI, then I think we get more relevant enrollment once they're in the higher junior and senior classes to this is what I want to do for a career, because I've got a little bit of exposure on seeing what it does, and I'm sure we'll talk about it in a minute, but with the ability, if I'm not old enough to take it yet, but I can get on some of the simulators.
Yeah, that's a great segue.
Yeah, great segue to that. So between the entry-level, all-encompassing theory only to the, other than it not being outside with dirt flying, that simulator is just as realistic as a machine that I've been on, the way it moves and interacts. So they could definitely get an idea of, am I interested in it? Oh, wait, I didn't realize I was this claustrophobic. It tips a little more than I thought it would. I'm out.
Yeah, especially because we have the VR option on those sims. And so, and the real one, when you've got a tracked machine and it gets to a ledge, like it doesn't, like a car will kind of flex over it, but that tracked machine goes to a certain point and then it tips. And man, if that thing is loaded and you don't have that bucket right, like it's a little pucker factor right there. So, but in the VR, you get that same experience.
Right.
Like it's really, really good. And that's why we went with the 10-star Greg Lindsay.
Gregory?
We should make sure we @ him on social media when we get there. But that's why we went with that one, because it had so many different machines. And so really, like if you think about a career exploration, they could drive a truck, they could drive those kinds of machines, and they could drive a fire truck, school bus, whatever. And if we could possibly ever pair it with a VR for healthcare, and then some like situational stuff for the mental health worker and the community health worker, even the nurse support technique would be phenomenal if we could do that. So they could have like when you said like that claustrophobic, like to be in the space, I remember the first time I tried a VR, it was a fighting game and like a boxing game, and that dude across looked like a dang polar bear, man. And I had a emotional mental response to that.
Did you knock the TV off the wall?
No, but I saw the video later and I looked absolutely ridiculous. But I was fighting for my life, man. And so I imagine those simulators will work the same way. And I've been in the forklift, and you have to like the picker when you have to turn and look up with that VR. And man, I get nauseous looking up like that in real life, and I sure did in that VR. And so I think the kids will have a really good dose of what that really looks like. So I'm excited to see you guys roll that out. What would you tell one of these teachers if you could tell a teacher any like straight talk, like, hey, here's skills for success, here's how it needs to be, this is what we're going to do, like stepping back from how we actually run it, what would you tell them about this is what you really need to do, this is how it really should run? Matt's gut feeling. And there's like leadership doesn't care what we say.
Skills for success as a whole, from
Not for K-12.
just for K-12 in general.
Yeah.
Well, in a perfect world, again, we've got the simulators coming, so with the availability, I don't know, maybe fifth grade, but definitely fifth through eighth grade. But my biggest wish would be that either your high school ACE program, if it looked like what all of our other skills for success courses did,
Yeah.
and that was what was available for all freshmen, whether you're in career tech or whatever.
Yeah.
The soft skills, how to write a resume, no matter what you're going to do the rest of your life, you're probably going to have to talk to people, and you're probably going to have to learn how to write some sort of resume and have interview skills. So we check the graduation box as a freshman, and then staying with our one course per semester, you're still 10th, 11th. That's still 6 classes on top of that ACE or that all-inclusive theory-only overview that you've been able to do. So within those 6, I would say if you've taken 6, you probably found something you liked, and there was some stackable courses to go on along with it. So we probably helped you find what you wanted to do. Or you may have the chance that somebody took 6 classes and there's still nothing, but there was still nothing wrong with the course. It just didn't fit their niche.
Yeah.
So within all the courses we have, we touch just about everything. So it may be then to where they just need to enroll in college and get their basics, or something just pops up that, hey, this is what I want to do for workforce, and it may be a 4-credit program at the college. So at the end of the day, if they're getting hands-on in middle school with the simulators, some type of all-inclusive overview, intro to the workforce as a freshman, and then stacking our courses 6.
What if they took so if they did 9th grade, they took the whole year to do ACE and whatever else they do. You know, the schools have all kinds of stuff they have to do. And then 10th, 11th grade, they took those theory-only courses. They could take a whole bunch of those, you know, and then in their senior year, they actually take the lab, like one lab in spring, one lab in fall.
My worry would be that if I limit myself to 2 my senior year, 9th, 10th, 11th, whatever, if I'm just doing theory only, the fact that I still am a teenager and I don't make all the correct choices.
True.
If I'm limited to 2, what if I pick the wrong one? And my fear would be that somebody missed out on something over a 3rd course.
Yeah.
That could have been available. Not that they can't come back in open enrollment, but it's a captive audience at the time, and once they walk across the stage, you may never get them back. Yeah,
that's very true. And that's Meredith Smith talked about that age range, 18 to 24. Keith Phillips talks about all the time, the non-engaged, non-college going, not engaged in training youth. There's a term they have for them. So maybe 5-8, they take the Sims, 9th grade take ACE, 10, 11, they're taking they're taking all the theories they want to, but when they find one they like the theory, then they can come back and take the lab too. Some kind of controlled, I don't know. It's never ending. Hey, serious question. Among all the workforce directors, who do you think the best boxer is?
Of the colleges?
Yeah. Like if we had like a cage fight, you know, like a big cage fight
between workforce directors. How many of the workforce directors listen to the podcast?
Probably none.
Okay.
All of them.
All of them.
I'm going with Teresa Walker. She's scrappy.
She'd be scrappy. Yeah.
She'll reach up and get you.
Yes. Which I think Chad's title has officially changed from director to something else, but with the football background and being the build he's got, then like you wouldn't want the bell to ring and him be your first opponent. You'd probably like to warm up first or pretend to pass out prior.
Yeah. Yeah. I wouldn't want to tie up with him.
No.
Okay. No. That'd be fun though. Like if we could have like a intramural, like a workforce intramural boxing league.
What was it was the celebrity death match on MTV, like the clay figures.
Yes,
We
gosh.
could do that with workforce departments.
Yeah, with AI, I bet we could.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna tell Teresa you voted against her.
No, I didn't. I agreed with you. Very scrappy. Very scrappy.
Where's this whole thing going? This skills for success machine. Like we talked about revving the engine up earlier, and we sure did. And I think we changed the oil. And we're back on track and did a full front to bumper maintenance on it. So
Yeah.
what do you see like in the next next year, 2 years? What are we gonna do? Like what's the next thing we're gonna do?
I think we're going to get a lot more into the articulated credit.
Yeah.
Which will, again, count for that CCRI for students outside of career tech. Not that we want to affect the CRI list that we've worked hard to get on, but for the students, whether it be, we've had this discussion before, whether it be special needs population or that kid that knows I'm going to be an engineer and there's nothing career tech wise offered to help me get where I need to go, but I still need that graduation requirement. Granted, their intelligence is probably high enough that they're going to make high enough on the ACT or the work keys or whatever, but that special needs population, they're always going to count against the federal report card because of the label, but the state report card, they can still help by getting that CCRI, and maybe the articulation of one of our courses is that thing. And we've seen a lot of success stories where a kid went from drawing that government check, which is nothing wrong with that. You got a disability, take what you need, to offsetting that with a full-time compensation and not needing it anymore. So to allow those opportunities with the articulation, whether it be no matter what type of student it is, I would like to see that come to fruition. And I still don't know that it's a bad idea to revisit the conversation on a few bundled dual enrollment courses.
Yeah.
So
agreed.
Between dual credit of some sort, I would like to see in the near future, 12 months.
Yep, I think we'll get some leverage across the state to do some different things like that for sure.
Now you do still have the opportunity for those senior industry request bundles for somebody that has figured out what they want to do to add to that resume to pursue that job.
Yeah, that's an interesting topic. I forget because it's still kind of a new thing. With our new arrangement of having the one CRI per semester, Wallace Hansful has with Coleman area, what do they call it?
Culinary Technology Academy.
Yeah, I saw your emails with Julie the other day about that. Walk through what CATA's doing, the program they're running, and how Wallace is serving that with Skills for Success.
Sure. So CATA's program and they've been doing this for 2 years now. I think they were one of the first, maybe even before it was a CRI to run fiber with their utility line worker program. And so that instructor does a good job. That like part of his curriculum throughout the year up until we made this new mandate was like they're doing all that line, getting that pole climbing certification, but the jobs that they're trying to get post-graduation, if they're not going to a Calhoun to further that utility line worker certifications, they're needing a lot of what our courses had to offer. So these students on a yearly basis from August to May, they were doing a heavy equipment bundle. Typically in that world, I don't know that you need to learn how to operate a bulldozer on a daily basis, but if you can excavate and dig that trench, back drag with a skid steer, so between those two courses, fiber, and I would say at least 70-75% of those graduating seniors also had a Class A or Class B on top of that to go to work, drive the bucket truck, splice the wires, all those things. So definitely 90% of over 90% of every graduating class were getting jobs as soon as they walk across the stage, probably turning down multiple job offers just because of the credentials they had. So The way this bundling request that Houston talked about came to be was that was going to affect what they were doing, maybe not affect the jobs on the back end, but are you willing to take that chance? So the idea was, well, if you are a senior, and if you've missed that opportunity, granted, it may be your senior year before you get into that utility line worker program, because there may be a waiting list. So, yes, I could have taken courses prior, but they wouldn't have counted for anything, and I didn't know what I wanted to do. So here I am, senior year. They previously embedded them. So with the backing from industry, Sprout Fiber, Pike, is that right? So another industry in the area.
Like electric.
Yes. They said, hey, we hire these gentlemen and ladies on a yearly basis. So there was an industry request to bundle these courses, submitted by Wallace with all the industry involved in their request, and Wallace's request to approve that for a group of seniors and still allows for more than one per semester, but it's being done for a specific reason, and for employability. At the end of the day, if they're getting employed, it's hard to say no to that. And the data's there to, again, a 90% hiring rate out of any graduating class is good and hard to say no to. And we've had a more recent one that just submitted yesterday afternoon between Northeast and the Kevin Dukes Career Academy.
I saw that headline in the email. What was that one?
That one, and that instructor he's done this for a while, but with the new regulations, it was going to kind of hinder some of that real world where previously they would bundle together excavator and skid steer, and again to dig the trench, to bury the pipe.
Yeah.
And even digging back up something with the pipe, but be able to fill it back in, back drag with the two machines. That request came from a group of seniors. There's actually, I think there's 3 juniors in that group that was in with the request, but it makes sense because they're already in a internship.
Okay.
With the company.
What's the company? Lambert
Construction.
That's a big deal.
So it's the company. The owner of the company is also the instructor. So it's just
works out.
It's a full circle thing that people are getting employed with a bundled course.
Do you know how those 2 bundles came to be? Like, was it the industry saying yes, we want this, or was it the high school putting it on, or the academy in this case? These 2 academies.
Well, the academy to start with, it was industry that made the call. And Northeast went along with it. And that's how they started bundling that, was the construction company and that instructor saying, hey, this makes sense to get out here, bury the pipe, dig that pipe up without messing it up, and kind of doing it all in a cohesive 4-day lab to where everybody's hands-on all the time doing both of the things, which most job sites are going to be operating at the same time anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. That's such a good application of what we do, of our courses to what they actually do in the thing. So good. Well, let's wrap this thing up, Matt. We got to get to our afternoon doing the Pamela Pumpkin Halloween workout. Have you seen it?
Is that the one you sent me this morning?
Yeah, that's one I sent you this morning.
With the guys in the construction?
Yeah.
I did watch it. I said we could do it better.
Did you do it in your head? Did you do the pumpkin workout?
Yeah, probably did.
I bet you did. Who would you like most to see doing that workout, Tom or John Mullins?
Well, that video had 3 in it, so we're going to have to find 3 people to do it. So Tom, Molly, let Grant be the headliner.
Yeah, I think Grant's going to way out dance them.
Yeah.
He's younger.
Put him in the forefront there and let him.
Pamela Pumpkin. Okay. Well, it is October. It's pumpkin season.
It is.
So, a great chat. Not such a serious show this time. We had some heavy hitters this morning. So it's good to let loose a little bit. But all those things with K-12, man, it's such a dynamic situation because we can do so much, and it's just the creativity of people putting it to use. And then our team being able to say yes, but most importantly, the legislature saying, yeah, I see what you were doing there. Let me help you out a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, with either funds or permission or whatever. So
Yep.
good stuff, man. Well, I appreciate you, Tom, and the team that makes all that happen. And what a success. My toast in a couple of years, 5 years, is seeing the impact we've made. We'll never know how many of those kids were made aware, oh, I like this.
Mm-hmm.
And the financial difference in their lives, we'll never know all that.
Right.
No one can ever measure it. But
Mm-hmm.
we know it's there. We just can't measure it.
Yep.
So good stuff, man. Anything else? Any final thoughts before we get kicked out of here?
Nope. The countdown is on. They're about to turn the lights out, but enjoy what we're doing. Again, can't wait to see, even if we don't get all the stories like we have in the other 3 podcasts earlier today that have already been broadcast, but those stories are just a little tidbit of the overall meaning of what we do. So for every story we hear, there's probably 50 we don't. So
agreed.
I'm believing in that. I think it's true, but we'll never document them all, but they're out there. So as long as we're, again, doing the right thing for the right reasons, the end goal will take care of itself.
Yeah. Well, as the band Journey said, don't stop believing.
Don't stop believing.
Okay. All right, man. Wrap this thing up, dude. Let's get out of here.
This is going to conclude another episode of Innovation Unplugged. Make sure to like, subscribe, and follow on all your social media platforms. Have a great afternoon.